Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So this year marks 3 years into praying to the God of dislikes for me. My most notable time that my prayers got answered, and I prayed to the God of dislikes that time, was just after my grandmother had passed away. My grandmother passed away last December, and her passing away was one of the last straws for me that year. I had a really bad case of COVID 19. I was heartbroken. I had job stresses. I was burnt out. And grandmother's death was just a little bit more, it tripped the circuit breakers in my life, if you will. And I completely lost it at the funeral. And I prayed to the God of dislikes. My dad was so upset that I had invented this God, and I doubled down on it by talking to my grandmother in her casket and asking her to go talk to Mary Curry and have Mary Curry set me up on a blind date with one of her descendants. My dad was so upset at the remark. He thought it was the most insensitive thing he ever heard. And then I left a small chunk of bismuth in my grandmother's casket because Mary Curry discovered polonium. Polonium is now made from bismuth. And my grandmother was going to take the bismuth to Mary Curry so she could continue her research. Now, the casket itself got cremated, and presumably the bismuth got turned into some kind of crystal in the urn. I never got to see it, though. And then I came back from the funeral, and I thought my prayers were answered already when I was in Taiwan. I had a really good conversation with a girl there. We went out to a sushi restaurant, and I thought that was she wasn't a descendant of Mary Curry, but I thought that was grandmother answering my prayers. But it got better and better after I got home. I then met a girl who had a book club. She's half Polish, and she loves literature. And she's basically an Eve Curry, if you will, a literature kind of girl. Uh, but it didn't end there though. She had anxiety and was really late showing up to dinner one night. And while I was waiting for her, I decided to read a little bit about Mary Curry's biography. And I discovered that her granddaughter is still alive. Her name is Helene, and still very active, and had a university email address. And so I emailed her and told her about a chemistry experiment I had done one time. Long story short, she got fascinated, and we had a few back and forth emails. But she's 97 years old. But it didn't end there either. I was trying to impress her by designing a Lego build of the Palace of Culture and Science in Poland. And I'm already Facebook friends with a singer-songwriter in Poland, if you could believe it. Evelina Falenta, second place winner of Polish Idol Season 1. And when I showed her the Lego ideas and asked her to vote for it, it reignited our conversation together. And actually, that wasn't those weren't the only times when my prayers were answered. There was another girl. She was one quarter Polish. I had been really frustrated with an online dating app, and I asked everybody to swipe left, show your support by swiping left. Now she had visited Phoenix for work and was only here for a few days, but I ended up traveling to Houston. We had a good time there, but didn't hit the sparks or anything. So 5 time answered prayer. And so I believe in the God of dislikes now. And that wasn't the only prayer that has been answered spectacularly. So join me in a prayer to the God of dislikes. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.